Hello everyone, welcome to yet another video of interview guide. So today we are going to talk about abstract keyword. So it's one of the keyword in C Sharp, and there are many interview questions that are asked about around this particular keyword. So now an abstract keyword, right? So it can be applied on class, it can be applied on methods or a property. And apart from that, it can be also applied on indexes and events. But today in today's topic, we are going to talk about the classes, methods, and properties, because we are generally asked about more about this particular. So abstract, we are generally questioned about things around abstract classes, methods, or properties. So let's have a look at let's so what we would be doing is we would be doing at a quick understanding of what exactly is the abstract class. Apart from that, once the understanding is being done, we would also have a look at the code that is present in your left hand side of screen. Yeah. So so what is an abstract class? So an abstract class is kind of a missing or an incomplete implementation. What does it mean is a abstract class is not a complete class. But there would be some of the methods that would be abstract. It may contain an abstract method or it may not contain an abstract method. But if it is an abstract method, then it would not have any kind of implementation. And whatever the derived class who is inheriting the abstract class needs to complete the method, and then you can create the whole object. So being an abstract class, it also means that you cannot create an object of an abstract class. Yep. And so uh, Mm, So, if you're declaring an abstract class, it's the thumb rule is you cannot create an object of an abstract class. Yep. So you can inherit it and you can create an object of the child class, whatever class that is inheriting it, but you cannot create an object of an abstract class. The second point over here is so all the members that are in the abstract class needs to be implemented in the child class. So base class should implement all the abstract methods present in the abstract parent class. Yep. So the abstract class may contain abstract methods. So again, the fact is, if you're declaring abstract class, it's not necessary. It should have all the methods or some of the methods to be abstract. Abstract class can contain abstract methods, cannot contain abstract methods actually. So it would still work yeah, if you're not passing any of the abstract methods. All the methods uh, are are partially implemented or implemented, then in that case it would still work. Yep. um, Also, you cannot have an abstract class and a sealed class uh, parallelly. Yeah. So when I say abstract class and a sealed class, yeah, you cannot have both the keywords parallelly, because abstract means an incomplete or partially, wherein we say that you have to inherit, while sealed says that the further inheritance is stopped. And that's why C sharp compilers say that okay, you cannot implement both the keywords because they are totally uh, opposite as compared to the implementation. So let's have a quick look at what exactly things we have discussed over here, and then I would quickly jump onto the so now one of the things that I wanted to highlight, which is not as a part of this particular one, but I wanted to highlight was this. So what would happen if I use a private keyword, right? So say for example, I'm using a private abstract classes. Will it kind of through any kind of issue? Yeah. So see, you can clearly see over here. So the is less accessible. So if you're declaring a class as a private, right? So this one class cannot be inherited. Yeah. So this if you're declaring it as a private, then you're facing an issue with this particular. What about if I use an internal? Yeah. Because if it's an internal, then yeah, you're still seeing an abstract. So it clearly says that okay, the content that is present in this particular abstract class is less accessible. Yeah. So What about if I use protected internal? Yeah. So what would happen if I use a protected internal? Same. Yeah. We are still seeing the same issue with this. So what if, so I'm using it as public itself, changing it back to public, and now I'm not seeing any kind of issues over here. Yep. Highlighting about the last point we have specified over here. So we are talking about the sealed keyword. So what would happen if I use a sealed keyword over here? So yeah, I've used a sealed keyword here. And now the compiler has started throwing me an error. The abstract type cannot be static or styled. So you cannot use a static or a styled keyword at the class level. Yeah. So you cannot use it on the class level. So these are some of the points which I wanted to highlight as a part of abstract classes. Let's jump on to the abstract method, because there would be many points around them as well. Yeah. So let's talk about abstract methods now. So when I declare a method to be abstract, right? So if I declare a method to be abstract, it has the base class, the class has to be abstract. So yeah. So because an abstract method provides no actual implementation, yeah. So you cannot have something like round brackets with curly braces, or so. If you're declaring a method to be abstract, it has to be totally abstract. No implementation as a part of an abstract method. Yeah. The child class who is implementing the abstract method has to provide the complete implementation. It can use a override keyword for implementing it, but it has to implement all the methods of the abstract class. So yep. So uh, also, it is an error to use a static or a virtual modifier in an abstract method declaration. Yeah. So if you're declaring abstract, uh, so if you're declaring a method to be abstract, you cannot declare a method to be at the same point. You cannot declare the method to be static. Yeah. But though you can use a static method inside abstract class. Yeah. So we can have a quick look at this particular one. So okay, what would happen? So if consider a case that you are having a abstract method, but you're declaring the method to be private. Yeah. So what would happen if I declare a method to be private? So this particular is a private method. So you're getting a error over here itself. So previously when we were declaring things to be private over here, right? So we were getting errors at the child class implementation level, right? So over here, when you declare a method to be private, yeah, you are getting an error to be so, because when you declare a method to be private or any different kind of access modifier on a particular method, it clearly states that uh, you are hindering the access of a particular method, and that's the reason you're getting this kind of a compiler error. Yeah. What if I use an internal? Yeah. So I'm getting the same kind of error. Let's move to public itself back. Yeah. So what what would happen if I remove abstract keyword? So will it work? Yeah, no issues over here. So I tried changing the access modifiers now, right? What if I remove the abstract keyword from this particular method? What would happen? Let's have a look at this. So okay, so I've removed the abstract keyword from this particular method, but I have not implemented this method at all, right? So if I'm writing over, if I'm writing like this, yeah, it should work. See, you should have a implementation, and I'm writing a void. What is that? Okay. Okay, semicolon after a block is not required. Yeah. So you should have some kind of implementation if you're declaring a method as non-abstract, right? So so again, back to what I've written over here. Yeah. So void public abstract. Yeah. and I am writing it over here. Okay. So the another point of which is so is it necessary to just to have an abstract method in an abstract class? So the question is so the question the answer to this particular question is it's not necessary. If you're declaring an abstract class, it's not necessary to have all the methods to be abstract or some of the methods to be abstract. You can have an abstract class with no abstract methods, right? So so say for example, if I comment out this particular one, yeah, this one is a static method, this one is abstract, yeah, so this one is a static one, yeah. So basically we were checking if I can have a method, right, abstract class with any of the methods. So now I've commented each and every abstract method over here. I'm just having abstract class declared over here, and none of the methods are abstract over here, and I'm still able to have abstract class. So it is not throwing me any kind of error. Yeah. So you can clearly have a look at this particular one. Yeah. So the method, the issue that over here is so I'm not having any kind of a abstract method over. So if I remove the override keyword, yeah, so it should not throw me an error. So that is what the error was, which is that it so there is no method to be implemented. So with the method a name, right? So if I have it abstract method in that case, yeah, and same is the okay. So now so now this one was so also one of the point that I wanted to highlight was so this one was so can I have a static method inside an abstract class? So the answer is yes, I can have a static method, but I cannot use both the keywords as a part of this. So what would happen if I use a static and abstract method? Yeah, so in that case I would get an error. Yeah, a static method cannot be abstract. Yep. But I can use a static method inside an abstract class. Yep. Abstract method and a static method we can have both of them inside abstract class, but we cannot have a static and an abstract keyword be implemented on the same method at the same time. Yeah. Let's move ahead on the second part, which is related to abstract properties. So so it is an error to use an abstract modifiers on a static property. Yeah. So whatever implementation more or less we were having on an abstract method, the similar kind of implementation we also have on the abstract properties. Yeah. So when I say abstract property, it is properties itself. It is not a kind of a variable that we are declaring in a class. We cannot write an abstract keyword onto a variable we are declaring in a class. It has to be a property itself, right? Apart from that, the abstract inherited property can be overridden. So when I say it can be overridden, it's not it has to be overridden, it can be overridden in the child class. Yeah. Quick look at the implementation. So what would I do is so what would I do is I would write abstract. I would try to write an abstract keyword onto a particular implementation over here. Yeah. So you can see over here I'm getting that abstract keyword is not cannot be applied on fields. It's only applied, it can be only be applied on properties. So I'm applying it on a property and I should be able to I'm getting no errors over here, right? So apart from this, right, apart from this if I try to use a static keyword, so the same if I try to use a kind of a static keyword, I should get a kind of error marked over here. Yep. So you cannot use a static keyword along with an abstract keyword. So that's what is the issue. Now since we have completed all the three proper like about class, methods and properties, let's talk about how we can use abstract class inside your implementation. So I've declared a child class over here which is inheriting from an abstract base class. So now you can clearly see over here we are having two abstract method. One is abstract method and one is abstract property. So when I declare a property to be abstract, right, or a method to be abstract, it is necessary. One of a point that I highlighted as a part of the abstract keyword during the abstract class was you have to implement and class like all the abstract methods, properties, or indexes defined in the abstract class inside the child class. So what would happen if I declare or I comment out this particular section of code? Oh, sorry. uh, Normal Visual Studio. Okay, yeah. So see, you can see over here. So the child class does not implemented all the inherited member. Yeah. So all the members of this particular child class. So in order to solve, I can either declare it this particular class as abstract. Yeah. So if I declare this one as abstract, then I'm having no issues over here. But if I declare this particular child as abstract, I should also get an error inside. So I'm having declaring an object of an abstract base class. Yeah. So I should get an error that you cannot create an instance of abstract type or an interface, right? So you cannot create an object to be an abstract of an abstract class, right? So in order to avoid this, I should be able to see something like this. Okay. Yep. So if I see, if I uncomment this particular, or basically I implement this particular method and the abstract part, I should not be. Oh, I'm trying to create an object of an abstract base class. It should be a child class. Yeah. And what would happen if I try to declare it abstract? Yeah. So if I declare it as abstract, then will I be able to create an, so it says that cannot create an instance of an abstract class. Yep. So yeah. Okay. And now there's a one more concept I wanted to since we have covered all the points, let's have one more point or one of the last points I wanted to cover as a part of this. Say it's I'm declaring a class to be a super base class. Yeah. And it's a normal class with which kind of a method which returns a method. So is it possible to inherit from a base class inside an abstract class? So let's have a quick look at this particular one. Yeah. So I'm having this particular abstract class. Yeah. And I'm writing it as a super base class. I'm inheriting it from the base class, and see, I'm getting no errors over here. So if you're having a base class and you are inheriting, like, the abstract class should be able to inherit from a base class, and you should not see any kind of errors over here. Yep. So that were some of the points I wanted to highlight. Yeah. So one of the point which I wanted to highlight over here is, can I write? So it's true that I cannot write a private over here and I should get an error over here, right? So we checked it in the previous implementation. But what if I'm having a public static method? Can I do like this? Yeah. Can I will the code still work? Yeah. So you can clearly see over here we should we are getting no issues over here. Only thing is we are getting, what if I write internal in that case? I'm seeing no error. So you should be able to see different kind of access modifiers inside a abstract class. But though the abstract, if you're declaring a class to be declaring a method or a property to be abstract, it has to be public itself. But you can write different kind of access modifiers on a kind of a static inside inside that at the member levels. You should be able to see different kind of access modifiers at this level. Yep. Apart from this, so this particular point which I wanted to highlight over here was this. These were the points that I wanted to highlight. Let's have a quick look at different Q&As that we generally are being questioned during the interviews. So yeah, so let's have a quick look. I would just increase the font size so that yeah, it's visible. Yeah, I hope it's visible to everyone. Let's have a quick look at different questions. So is it possible to declare an abstract class to be stale and static? The answer is no. We clearly checked that, okay, a class cannot be a stale and static at the same time. Yep. So can we declare an abstract method as private? So the answer is no. Can we create an instance of an abstract class? The answer is no. Can an abstract class inherit another abstract class? The answer is yes. We clearly saw that a super base class was inherited inside an abstract class. The answer is yes. So can an abstract class inherit an interface? The answer is yes. Can an abstract class have constructor? So yeah, so an abstract class can definitely have a constructor, and one of the point that I wanted to highlight, you cannot override an constructor. So you can have an constructor inside an abstract class wherein you can have the properties to be properties or the variables to be instantiated, and all these things can be done to a particular value, but you need to override the properties declared as abstract inside the child class. Yeah, but you can have a constructor inside an abstract class. So the another question, this is one of the questions that is majorly asked in many of the interviews. So when do you absolutely have to declare a class as abstract? So at what instances, yeah, you have to declare a class to be abstract? Yeah, when one of the member, so when when the class itself is inherited from an abstract class, but not all, right? We saw over here, like if all the methods are not implemented, we had to declare the class as abstract. Yeah. So if the all the methods are not overridden inside the child class, you will have to declare the class to be abstract class, or at least to one method, or say for example, if you're declaring a class, right, at least if one of the method you're declaring it as abstract, in that case you will have to declare the class to be abstract. So that's the thumb rule that we have in C Sharp, or rather in the object-oriented programming. Can we declare an abstract class as static? So the answer is no, you cannot have an abstract class to be static. What is the difference between a virtual abstract method and a virtual method? So, abstract method clearly does not have any kind of implementation, and you will have to override that particular method inside. You will have to override the method inside the child class, but when you use a virtual keyword, it's not necessary to override. You have the option to skip that particular implementation. You can take the base implementation, but when you declare a method to be abstract, you will have to implement that inside the child class. So these are two different difference between abstract and virtual. uh, can a class have a constructor? Yes. Can we have static methods inside an abstract class? We checked it. Yeah, we were able to see static methods inside an abstract class. So if you are having a static method inside an abstract class, you should be able to use the abstract method dot static keyword. Yep. So you should be able to have that. Apart from this, so what is the difference between abstract class and interface? And there are many points that many of the developers are not able to answer, though they know all of them. but they are not able to answer each and everything, because abstraction is provided by interface as well as the abstract classes, but we are not able to highlight all the points that are mentioned over here. So let's have a quick look at what are the points. Yeah. So the abstract class doesn't provide full abstraction, but interface does provide full abstraction. So when we say this particular one, we check that some of the methods inside the abstract class were having some kind of implementation, but that's not the same case with interfaces. If you're declaring an interface, it has to be fully abstract. You just declare a method, and the class that is inheriting needs to implement the whole method. So that's what the part of an abstract. Apart from this, you cannot achieve multiple inheritance inside an abstract class. Yeah. So if you're declaring an abstract class, you cannot inherit it from two different class inside this. Yeah. But that's true in terms of interfaces. If you're doing an if you're using an interface, right? So in that case, you should be able to do a multiple inheritance using interfaces. We cannot declare a member field inside an interface. So while in case of abstract classes, we should be able to we can implement. So we clearly checked during the compiler that we were able to declare a field uh, inside a class, but we were not able to declare we are not able to declare that inside a inside an interface. Yep. uh, we cannot use a different access modifiers within an interface by everything is public. While when I say we cannot use an access modifiers, yeah, we cannot use an access modifiers within an interface. Everything is public by default, but we can use different access modifiers inside the abstract class. Yet the abstract classes we should be able to see, and different kind of access modifiers at the abstract class level, or maybe on the member fields we should be able to see different access modifiers. Yep. Also, we cannot the interface cannot be defined with keyword as static, virtual, or abstract or sealed. uh, we cannot so if you are using abstract keyword, both cannot go hand in hand. But in terms of abstract, we were able to see override keywords and static keywords and virtual keywords over there. Yeah. So we were able to declare static keywords, and we were able to create virtual methods over there. Yeah. When we were using, so though we are not checked any kind of condition for override and virtual, but we should be able to do it. You can try it on your own when you're writing your code. Yeah. And an interface cannot be defined as public. The interface cannot be have virtual, static, or different keywords, while in abstract classes you should be able to have different static keywords, and that's what we saw in the implementation section. Yeah. So yep. Okay, that's all I was having for you guys in this particular abstract keyword. Uh, Let me know your comments, feedbacks, if there are any things that you wanted to highlight me. And feel free to subscribe my channel. Also press the bell icon. It creates a boost to me. Thank you. Thanks for watching the video. Have a nice day.